Hello and welcome to today's online webinar in circumstances which I'm sure are as bizarre for you as they are for us. In this talk, Gillian and I are going to take you through what the NI economy might look like in 2030 and amidst the most challenging economic and health crises in our history and an increasingly uncertain future. We'll also cover how skills and qualifications will remain a vital assets in the future of the labour markets and why Ulster University is a great place to build and grow those skills and qualifications. If you'd asked us what the NI economy would look like in 2030 just a matter of months ago, our answer would have come from a place of relative optimism. GVA had just surpassed £40 billion, employment was at record highs, while unemployment and economic inactivity were at record lows. This meant workers were able to demand higher wages. In 2019, the average worker took home £26,000 per year, another record. And whilst by some measures we still hadn't recovered from the last recession, we were clearly on our way to a more prosperous future, until of course, coronavirus. The economic impacts of COVID-19 has been the most pronounced in Northern Ireland's economic history, much worse than the 2008 recession, and we project that the economy will contract by 13% in 2020. A significant number of employees have been supported through the government's job retention scheme. 240,000 people have been furloughed, in addition to 40,000 people being newly laid off. This means that in total, more than 300,000 people were classed as not working during the height of the crisis, which is itself unprecedented. While alarming, these also tell a positive story of unprecedented economic support from the government to the labour markets. In addition to those working in the public sector, with those furloughs and laid off, we expect about 70% of the NI population were receiving some sort of supplementary support from the government. This should in itself aid recovery. Indeed, the recovery has already begun, though from a challenging base. Consumer confidence was badly hit by the virus, which means people are spending a lot less money, though there is some evidence that people have been spending more in July and August. This hit to consumer confidence has had an impact on business growth, investment, and naturally output growth. In a best case scenario, we can see the economy recovering fully by 2023 from its 13% GVA fall. On the plus side, this means that it's a great time to study. The expected timeline of economic recovery aligns with graduations in 2023 and 2024. Whilst youth unemployment jumps at the height of crises, it tends to fall during phases of recovery as employers look to grow and bring in fresh faces, again aligning with the timelines of future graduates. While there is some consternation over the future of employment and economic prospects in Northern Ireland, the demand for workers remains and it will indeed grow. The rate of population ageing means currently there are unlikely to be enough people in Northern Ireland to replace the jobs that are being left behind by other workers. We expect 2/3 of jobs to be filled over the next 10 years to come from replacement demands, that being jobs that are replaced by people leaving the workforce because of retirement, migration, economic inactivity, or unemployment. In total, we project there will be 26,000 additional jobs between now and 2030, with the rate of job growth being 2,600 new postings per year. 8,000 of those jobs will come from expansion demand in new and growing sectors, whilst the remainder will be replacement demand. In any case, those with graduate degrees are most likely to fill those positions, possessing the skills and aptitude to get into those vacancies. And accordingly, there is a high correlation between those with further and higher education qualifications and employment rates. Of those with 5 or more GCSEs, half are employed, whereas the employment rates for those with undergraduate degrees, master's degrees and PhDs is about 90%. In addition, qualifications act as a valuable commodity within themselves, as they act as a signal to employers against non-graduates. All of these facts combined lead us to the conclusion that higher qualifications equal higher employment. In turn, higher qualifications and higher employment lead to higher levels of wage growth. In-demand cohorts of graduates demand higher wages thanks to their higher bargaining power, as well as the types of jobs that they're carrying out being higher skilled. In total, it has been found that there is a £9,000 per year wage difference between those with A levels and those with higher education qualifications like undergraduate degrees. That means that over the next 10 years, someone with an undergraduate degree is likely to earn up to £100,000 more than someone with just A levels. If you go into further and higher education, you'll realise that the qualifications you obtain will develop the skills sought by employers, while also acting as a signal to employers of your ability to do the job. These two facets combined will contribute to a 50% increase in your lifetime earnings over non-graduates. In just a matter of months, we've seen unprecedented changes to the way we live and work. 280,000 people were placed on furlough or laid off at the height of the crisis, though thanks to unprecedented government support, a significant number have returned. Now we at the Economic Policy Centre are working with policymakers to develop new solutions to aid the recovery. These responses will likely accelerate nascent megatrends. Automation and digitalisation are likely to be important facets of all jobs by 2030, whilst responses to climate change and population growth are likely to change the types of jobs that are in demand for future workers. In any case, those jobs are likely to be filled by graduates who already possess higher levels of employability and gain better wages than non-graduates, especially when we factor in the economic resurgence taking place from 2023 and 2024. To understand how your education will be put to use and how it will factor into growing industrial trends like automation and digitalisation, I'll pass you over to Gillian.
It's important for us to understand the world around us, and there's some ongoing megatrends which impact the local and global economy. Firstly, there's an ageing and growing population. In 2000, 10% of the world's population was over the age of 50. By 2050, this is anticipated to be 21%. This will put extra demand on the health and social care sector, as well as cause people to work longer, which could impact younger generations. In order to support a growing and ageing population, many countries are embarking on and investing in the fourth industrial revolution. This will also boost productivity and innovation. There's also a rise and a shift in global economic power, particularly for Asian countries such as China, India and Japan, and this will shift the political power in the world. By 2030, the UN estimate that 4.9 billion of us will be city dwellers, and this will put extra pressure on resources, particularly on transport and housing. So it's important for us to be prepared for this type of living. And prior to COVID-19, there was a real focus on the climate emergency. This hasn't gone away, and it's important for us to prepare and tackle this head on. Overnight, the pandemic caused thousands of us to work, learn and relax from the comfort and safety of our homes, and internet access was vital to supporting this. Northern Ireland was in a positive place to support this, as nearly 94% of households here have access to the internet, and many jobs have grown because of demand from the internet, such as digital marketing professionals, broadband engineers and website designers. However, in the UK, nearly a quarter of the population still only have overall basic digital skills, and this limits a person's ability to use the internet for their benefit. It also weakens the UK's overall position. Positively for Northern Ireland, the Economy Minister, Diane Dodds, has announced a 1.7 million package to support online reskilling, and this will help people who have been impacted by COVID-19. As we invest in automation and new jobs emerge, so too do the skills needed in the workplace, and the internet access will be vital to supporting this. While we can't yet know the long-term impacts of COVID-19 on the local economy, our research does estimate how automation will impact us here in Northern Ireland. Firstly, there'll be increased demand on the health and social care sector because of the ageing and growing population. Therefore, we'll need more carers, doctors and nurses to support this dependent population. And then, as a result of investments in automation, there'll be increased demand in the professional services sector as well as manufacturing. When we spoke to companies across Northern Ireland, none had got rid of staff as a result of investment in automation, and this is very positive. However, a person's job tasks did change, and so it required them to upskill and retrain. It's estimated that by 2030, nearly 33% of the global workforce will be in newly created jobs. Some of these jobs we don't even know about yet because the technology hasn't yet been created, but some that are in demand and increasingly in demand include data analysts, blockchain specialists, machine learning and cybersecurity specialists. However, there will be some negatively impacted as a result of automation, and this includes secretaries, call centre staff and driving roles. By completing a degree at Ulster University, it'll set you in good stead to be in one of the demanded roles. So as we are embarking on the fourth industrial revolution, the skills demanded in the workplace are changing, and we need a mixture of system-based technical skills and human skills. The system-based skills that are needed include coding, programming, machine learning and robotics, whilst the softer human skills needed are creativity, empathy, judgment and teamwork. And these skills can all be developed by completing a degree at Ulster University. So where can you go after university? The current economic climate is very uncertain and ever-changing, but you can create some certainty for yourself by completing a university degree. And we've learned from past recessions that those with a degree qualification are still in demand. You can develop your skills through live projects and placements, and many of our students have gone on to pursue careers in the likes of PwC, EY, Allstate, Fintru and Cool FM. So whatever you choose, we wish you well.